Dr. Jesse Reagan with Delmarva Chiropractic, and this is our monthly update. So we'll talk to you a little bit about what we have going on in the office, a couple fun events, and then headaches today. So first and foremost, healthy living. We got a couple events coming. We just finished the Shred 10 challenge. That was a good time. Have a salad in a jar party coming up August. Hydration challenge, and then healthy lunches. So that's going to be giving some tips on how to get those kids some good nutrition as they're going back to school. Yoga, we're postponing the Tuesday night class for probably a month or two until we get into the fall, but we are still having the Thursday night class that's going great with Christina at Tula Yoga, so we really appreciate everything that they're doing here in the office. And getting into the headaches. So the reason I picked this topic this month is I've had a lot of people coming into the office lately with headaches, and it seems to be a fairly common story. A lot of people will come in and they tell me that they're having migraines. Sometimes they're on medications, sometimes they're not on medications. But the truth of it is in a lot of cases they're not having true migraine headaches. Sometimes they're having something called a cervicogenic headache, and in other cases they're having a temporomandibular joint dysfunction. There's a little bit of overlap in all those conditions, and I'll talk through just a little bit about each one. The good news is there's conservative care options, non-pharmacological options for all three of those conditions. We see them here. Physical therapists will see them, and sometimes even your medical provider will recommend conservative care for these conditions. But getting into it first, migraine, a true migraine headache, typically starts on one side of the head or the other, so right in the front of the head, kind of over the eye. A lot of times you'll get sensitivity to light, sensitivity to sound. In a lot of cases, there is a trigger. Sometimes it's hard to nail down exactly what that trigger is, and there's a sense that it's coming on. Not in all cases, but a lot of times there is that sense or an aura that we're getting the headache. And a cervicogenic headache, typically they'll start in the back of the head and then they radiate up into one side or the other, or even both, or feel like a band of tension around the head. The key there is that when we start doing a physical examination, we'll find a bit more limited range of motion, some tight muscles up in the upper cervical, some joint restrictions in the cervical and thoracic spine, and actually we can actually find some of those. Again, there's a lot of overlap in that, but typically a little bit more so in the cervicogenic headache. And then for the last, the temporomandibular joint dysfunction, or TMD. You can actually get a lot of pain in the temporal region, or down into the teeth, or some people even get an earache or tooth pain associated with that. So there's a little bit of overlap there too. And in a lot of cases, there's a component to the upper cervicals with the temporomandibular joint dysfunction. So there's a lot of overlap in all these conditions. That's why it's important to consult with your healthcare provider if you feel like you or somebody you know is suffering from these conditions. If you are, you can talk to somebody like me. You can talk to your healthcare provider. But it's always good to seek out those conservative care options prior to going down the route of medications and the more invasive measures. Although in some cases they are warranted and very effective for some people. Hope that was helpful. If you like it, share it. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook. You can go to our website. There's more information about those events on our events page. And give us feedback. We want to know how we're doing, and if there's any topics we can talk about. See you next month.